So welcome to our workshop, using Canva to create infographics and presentations. And I will add many other things as well. You can use it for anything. I find with Canva that I found it one of the most useful and easy to use sort of graphic design programs that we have. I much prefer it to PowerPoint, and I do almost all of my presenting using Canva as well, but I'll take you behind the scenes of that today and show you a bunch of different tips and tricks. To get started, I would like to acknowledge the country that I am coming to you from, which is the Yugambeh language group, which is up on the beautiful, very rainy Gold Coast today, and I would just like to pay my respect to elders past and present as well. I would also like to thank the SCPA for hosting me tonight. Normally there would be someone from the SCPA here, but they've been unable to make it tonight, so you just have me. My name is Katie Hotko, and I was a past member of the Southern Cross Postgraduate Association, as I did my honours and my PhD through Southern Cross University, and I now do work at the uni within the Faculty of Education. So I am coming back to one of my most supportive student organizations that I really experience. So all of you are accessing these workshops because you are postgraduates and members of the SCPA, and I encourage you to reach out to them if you need any support in your studies and to access all of the amazing supports that they offer you. And if you're ever feeling like giving back, you can also potentially talk to them about becoming like an officer or someone who I was at one stage. I was the secretary, the treasurer, which is not my skill set, but I was the treasurer for a while there and the vice president during my time with the SCPA. So I encourage everyone to get involved. Okay, first, before we dive right in and have a go at looking at Canva, I would love to find out who is here tonight. So if you don't feel like talking, that's totally okay. Maybe you could pop in the chat who you are, what you're studying, and what you're hoping to get out of tonight. If there's an assignment you have or a particular thing that you're hoping to get, I would love to hear from you. So for those of you who would be happier to type, please start typing away and we will hear from all of you. If anyone would like to introduce themselves on the mic, please feel free to jump in and do so.
Hi, I'm Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
I'm doing a Bachelor of Innovations honours.
Okay.
So I do use PowerPoint a lot. But not so much Canva. So one of my first assignments is to design a poster, how I see myself as a creative person.
Oh.
So
Um,
not allowed to use AI, so keen to learn more about the mechanics of how to put a poster together. And I was thinking Canva might be the way to do it.
Certainly how I would do it. I mean, PowerPoint, you can do all sorts of things, but I think Canva is one of the easier ways to do it. Amanda, hello.
Hello, Katie. Looking forward to this session. Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda. Just finished my PhD, well, almost over the line there. And then I also work at the uni. I see a lot of one of my colleagues who always does beautiful presentations, and she always tells me they're made in Canva. I do them in PowerPoint and they look terrible, so I'm really hoping to learn some useful skills today.
Beautiful. Thanks, Amanda. And I can see in the chat plenty of people are studying from all different parts of the university, and there are some assignments that are PowerPoint, and I'm assuming you mean by PowerPoint slideshows. And then there's some infographics and posters and things coming through. So you're in the right place. Let's move forward and I will show you what I have to show you here. So, what have I got on the screen here? Let's move across. When you go into Canva, just to give you a bit of a background, I guess, I'm not paid by Canva. I don't know them. I am just a user like yourselves. However, Canva was founded by Australian educators, which I find quite fascinating. It's become this multi-million-dollar company, but their first passion was as educators in Australia. And one of the great things about Canva is that the free options, which I'm going to show you on tonight, I'm going to try and do all of my demonstrations on the free version because there is a lot you can do as just a free person who signs up with an account. Full disclosure, I have a membership that I pay for, even though I use this predominantly for my work. I pay for it myself because I love it and I just get so much use out of it. My account costs me, I paid it this week actually, and I went, oh, it's $160 a year is what I pay. But I get a lot of use out of it. I claim it on tax. For those of you who are going to be teachers or who perhaps are educators already in the school system, you actually have access to, it's called, I can't remember what it's called, a Canva Educators account, and that is actually free. So you can apply through Canva for that using your teaching credentials, and you get a free account, which is actually way better than the one I pay for. It has a lot more capabilities as well. So there's that. I always say to my students, use the free version. I don't care in the assignments that students submit to me. I don't care if there's a little bit of like a, what do you call it? Like a watermark over something that you're meant to have, that you'd get for free if you paid for the pro version. That never bothers me if a student doesn't want to sign up and pay anything. And I'd never want anyone to actually go, especially if you're a student, to be paying for these things. The other things I sometimes encourage is that if you really want the whiz bang, all the different bells and whistles that you can get from a paid account, you can always do a 30-day trial and just be really careful, sign up. I mean, our courses at SCU go for 6 weeks, so you could, sign up at the right time, make sure you put it in your calendar to cancel it before you get charged and access all the freebies that way. So tonight, all I'll be asking for you to do is create or have already created a free accessible account. So when you open up your Canva, you see this type of screen. And so I hope this is what it looks like for you. I've signed in as a free member here so that you can see. What you will have is you'll have a section that has all of your designs in it. You have a whole bunch, like millions of free templates that you can use. And there is growing day by day more and more generative AI within Canva. So for those of you who have, I think did someone say it, or it's in the chat somewhere that you cannot use generative AI? It is something that we need to be careful of if that is a blanket rule that you have in your assignments, that you maybe would need to check with your unit assessor if it is okay to use the Canva AI tools. I would say it probably is, but you certainly, in submitting your assignments, you would need to acknowledge that often in our assignments at SCU, there is some form of declaration at the beginning of your assignments where you declare all of the generative AI that you use. So I just want to put that up front so that no one gets caught out. There is some generative AI within Canva. I don't think it's a huge problem, but it would always be something you'd need to double check with your unit assessor to make sure you're doing the right thing. There are so many different things, as I said before, that you can do. Most of us will be working within this space here, the presentations, which is a slide deck in the tradition of PowerPoint that we should all sort of know what that looks like. And then we could often work within the posters as well. So I'm going to take you away from here pretty soon and show you exactly how it looks like within actual Canva itself. But when you create a design, there are so many different things that you can put down. And if you can't find exactly what you want, what you can do is type into the top here, and it's pretty amazing. It'll find what you need generally for typing that there. Tonight, what we're going to cover, and I'm going to show you a whole bunch of things in a minute, but I just want to give you an outline of the things we're going to put into action, and you will hopefully learn by doing today. My background is I'm an arts educator, so I'm a very strong believer in learning by doing. So we are going to learn, firstly, how to find the template that kind of is most in the style that we like so that we have the least amount of tweaking to do. Then we're going to learn how to change styles, how to add text, how to use graphics. We're going to learn how to group items together, change the layers. We're going to learn how we can upload our own images and videos, how we can play with online videos and online content. We're going to learn how we can record ourselves in Canva. So you might have an assignment or you might have a presentation that you need to do at a conference, which is an online conference, and your presentation needs to be recorded. You can do that within Canva. You can have your slide deck all designed, and then you can record yourself with a little insert of yourself in the bottom corner so people can see your face and you're speaking, and I will show you how we can do that. And then I will cover, of course, how you get your designs and creations from Canva and how you can export them to the format that you need. So we've got a lot to do tonight. And how we're going to do that is I am going to give you a template link. So I'm going to copy that template link in a moment into the chat box, and you will be able to, I'll give you some time to open up and have a little explore. Before I do that though, I'm going to escape out of this presentation and I'm hoping you can still see it. When I hit escape, is that still visible in my share? Excellent. This Zoom link has funny share abilities, so I'm never quite sure what's going on with my sharing. But this is where I was presenting to you from. And just as a sneak peek down the bottom here, this is our template that you are going to be playing with and helping tweak and create different things in this slideshow. But for now, I'm going to take you back over here to this screen, which hopefully you have come with me, and you can see this is that home page, I guess you can say, which is where you have all your designs, and this is my personal account. So you'll see this is all of my designs that I work with. As you go on, you can actually start to file your designs into different, let's see if it'll do it. I'm just giving you a back end look into what I have at my so these are all my units that I teach and where I file all of my different presentations. There's a whole bunch of stuff of my daughter's here that she does because she uses my account. What else is there? I think I might even have some things from my PhD back in the day, which I will jump in and just show you really briefly. So I have, as I said, I did creative arts in my PhD. Here is a whole bunch of resources that I made during that time. So they're all filed away into a little folder. So you can keep a lot of your designs as you go along. You can file them all into little folders. The great thing about Canva is that it saves automatically. So no matter what you're doing, as long as you're online on the internet, everything's always saved and you can go back and use it there. So if I just jump back to home here, what I might do is I'm going to copy and paste the template into the chat. What this template link will do for all of you is it will actually take you straight to the page, and I want to demonstrate that for you now. It will take you straight to Canva and provide a place for you to sign in. So I'm going to, just to make this work, I'm going to open. Can you see that incognito window, or has it disappeared for you? It should be all black on the screen. I knew it would do that. Oh, it is black. Amanda, you can see it. Excellent. Hopefully this will continue to work. I've just done this so that when I copy and paste, it should show you exactly what you will see when you log this into your computer. So what should come up is a template created by me, has been shared with you. And what you need to do is click View the Template. Hopefully you can see this here. I just want to sign out. I was trying to do this so that you would see me from the very... Okay, what should come up? Hopefully you can see log in or sign up in seconds. I'm going to ask you again, Amanda, can you see that there? Because I've got your face here. You can't see it. I'm going to stop sharing.
I can only see black screen.
Okay, never mind. I knew this would happen. Let me share again. Here we go. Beautiful. Hopefully this will work for you. Okay. Hopefully what you can see here is log in or sign up in seconds. And then what you need to do once you click on that button is that you need to just sign up. So you could sign in with your Facebook account if you wanted to. I'm going to sign in with an email, and I will sign in with my free account. And that should log me in straight away to a screen that says Open in Editor. And it should take me to this spot here. Hopefully everyone can see that. Stay with me for a moment. I know that some of you may have clicked on that link already and started to open this up. What I would like you to do is to just give me maybe 5 minutes of your time to show you a few things in here. And then what I'm going to do is give you a 5-minute time to go and play and get yourself situated, okay? So I'm going to show you some things in here, which is the free account. So hopefully no one's getting tempted by the bells and whistles that I might have in my other account here. So what I want to show you about Canva is along the left-hand side here is where all of your tools are. The one up the top is what we're going to first look at, which is the templates section. And as I said before, there's so many different templates that you can use. Within here, because I have a slideshow open up, so a slideshow is lots of single panes of images that you can move throughout, similar to a PowerPoint slide. I have that set up here. So what it's going to show me is lots of different templates with different looks and all sorts of different things along here. You can have a look at them. You can open them up and see. So what one do I like? Let's see this one here. As you hover your mouse over it, they'll slide across and you can get a sense for the different templates. You can start from scratch if you want to. If you're a really strong-minded person who is a bit like myself, actually, I like to start from scratch and design things from scratch. But I know a lot of people prefer being able to just grab something and then tweak it. What's great about a template is that it has a very consistent design to it. It has consistent colors, it has consistent fonts, and it's all there for you. The other thing that you can do is you can type and describe what your ideal design would be like. Can I get some suggestions from the group here. Does someone already have a topic or a particular area that they would like me to look up? Otherwise, I'll make something up. You can pop it in the chat. Is there something that you do, that you're studying? That's excellent. Let's go. Healthcare. I don't know what will come up. Let's have a go. Healthcare might be enough, and it might give me all sorts of things, but I'm going to try really specific here and see what it does. Okay. And we will see. So what has come up here are a whole bunch of designs already that perhaps have some images that might work for you already or some particular styles. So for example, if you like this sort of cartoony look, you can work within here. So I might just click on that one there, and then you can see all 10 designs that slideshow already has, and it has that very consistent look for it. I'm going to show you tonight, and we're going to practice all of the ways that we can tweak and adjust these templates. Obviously, you're not going to use them as is. You can go back here. The one thing I would like to point out to you here is that this little crown is what will show you is only part of the pro version. So when you're looking here as a free person who is only using the free version, you really want to avoid those crowns. So, but you can see there are a lot here that are available for free. So you might prefer something that looks a little bit more like this, and this is the type of presentation that you might go for. I'm going to take you back. If I click home, because we've just been looking at the templates there that are for presentations. And I want to show you, you could be doing all sorts of things within social media. You can create Instagram posts, you can create Facebook cover photos, all sorts of things. You can do videos in here. One thing I've seen in the chat that a lot of people needed to do was to create an infographic. So I don't know what your requirements are, but infographics are often, they're often quite narrow and long in the way that they are formatted so that you can fit quite a lot of information on them. You might have a requirement where your poster needs to be, say, if you're presenting at a conference, your poster might need to be A1 or A2 in size. You can do a little bit of that. When you have the pro version, you can choose the exact size that you want to work with. In the free version, you might have to be a little clever to try and find a template that already has the size that you need. Just going to type this in here so that it will, just need to be careful to look for templates. So I've just popped in the word infographic. If this is the type of infographic that you need to work with, you can type it in there and you can see all of the different types of templates that are already there. And what you can do is you can say, this is the particular type that works for me. I kind of, I might like this one here, or you might have a particular flow that you want to work with. Let's say this one here, I'm just picking any one here. You would click on it. This might be something that works for you, but you might be working within the field of in science, and you might be looking at marine biology. Now, I know that that's not the same thing, but you might actually just like the actual boxes and the way that it works down here. And what you can do, I've picked one that's a paid version, haven't I? Hold on, let me go back and find one that's not paid. All right, let's go this one here. You just use can you let me know if you've come across to this page with me? There, you can see, can you see becoming great entrepreneurs? Excellent. So you can see this here, and then you will be able to tweak. You can tweak titles, you can tweak names, and you can change images and things like that. So as you can see, there are a whole bunch of different templates that you can use, color schemes. But what I have designed for us tonight is a set of activities for us to do that will help you learn how to tweak a template really successfully. So what I want us to do now is hopefully everyone has, I'm going back to the home so that I can find where we are here. Everyone should be able to have access to that Canva template link and hopefully log in to your account. And once you get to there, we're going to go to the first page of our activity book, which is Start Inspired with a Template. What I need to know from everyone here, just so that I can keep tonight moving as quickly as possible, when you are here and you are ready to go, I need you to give me a thumbs up or let me know in the chat that you're ready to move on to this activity. So what I'm going to do is actually give everyone, well, I'll ask everyone right now, how are we going? Are we all ready to go? Does anyone need a few more minutes? Let me know if you need a few more minutes, because I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up, which I love, that everyone's ready. We are all good. That's fantastic. Let's get started then, shall we? So how I'm going to do tonight is I've tried to make it as easy as possible for you. You can just listen to me in your ears while you've got your Canva up on your laptop. And what I have for you is an instructions down the bottom left-hand corner. And I've tried to be really explicit. So what I want you to do on this page here is I would like you to go to the templates tab. Now, before I told you that it was in the left-hand side, the templates, you can click on it to sort of hold it open permanently. And what I want you to do is just have a look. You can choose whatever you like. I want you to drag and drop the template on the page. So for example, if I like this one here, which is like a cartoony background, I'm going to grab it and drop it on here. And what it's going to do is it's going to say, do you want to replace the current page or add as a new page? What I'm going to do is add it as a new page. You don't have to. You can replace the current page. I'm going to do add it as a new page just so that you can see it here. And I am showing you this, it wasn't on purpose, but as an example here, I've chosen one that's for the Pro version. And this is what I meant by the watermarks. You can see that there are some sort of watermarks over it. So you're not quite seeing it exactly as it should be. So maybe I'll go back. Here we go. I'm going to the templates page and I'm going to have a look and I'm going to choose a different one here. So maybe I'm going to type something in here and I'll stick with what I love. And I might just choose, oh, why am I drawn to paid ones? All right, I'm going to choose this one. I'm dragging and dropping, and I'm going to add it as a new page here. And you can see that that is there. I could choose any of these ones here to add in. For example, I could go this one, and then I can work with changing that. So what I'm going to do for everyone now is I want you to just go and do that and have a play with choosing some, having a look at them. I'm going to give you, what I might do is going to stick this on the presentation and I'm going to give you just 2 minutes. So I'm going to pop a timer on here. I can answer any questions that anyone might have. You can pop them in the chat and I'll type in the chat. Otherwise, there's 2 minutes for you to have a play with the different templates, drag and drop. Let's see. So 2-minute timer. See, I could put some music on. Let's go. How did everyone go then? Do you feel like you had enough time to have a play? Excellent. So things are going to, that's the easiest thing that we're going to do. It's all pretty easy, but I am going to step you through some more things here. Now, you've had a go at looking at a few different templates and how you can drag and drop them across. On this next one here, thank you in the chat there, the timer. I will show you, and it's not actually part of what I was going to show you, but I will show you the background of how to present online with Canva. It actually has a whole bunch of really cool features, not just the timer, but I can do a drum roll or a like curtains or a mic drop. There's all sorts of really cool little features that you can do. I'll show you how to do that. Remind me if I forget, but remind me towards the end and we'll do that there. What I want us to do on this next page, so we're going to move to the page that is Find Your Style. So you could have something already that you've designed. You might even have something in PowerPoint that you've designed that you don't really love, but you want to convert. I know you can do it in Pro. I'm not 100% sure if you can do it in the non-paid version. So I'm going to just try and show you now. If you have a document already that you want to convert, what you can actually do is, let me flip across here and go create and see if I can do it. It might be something that you can only do in, here we go, upload. I might actually try and figure this out while I'm going to have a go at this when I haven't got you waiting on me while you're having a play with something. But if you've got something and you want to give it a cohesive design, what you can do is actually apply a style to something you've already got. So I have a design here that's got like blue and there's white and whatnot, and I'm using certain types of fonts. What I can do is actually go over and find a particular style that I like. So, for example, let me get rid of this and I'll just go back and see what I can find here that's quite unique. Okay, so I am, oh, this one's really quite unique. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to go to the templates tab, hover over something. I'm going to right click and apply style to page. It comes up as like a little purple tab. Let's see what it does. It looks pretty terrible if you ask me, but it has converted and given the color scheme, the fonts, and the particular style of that there. I do not like that. So I'm going to undo, which is up on the top here, that undo button, or you can use your key, your Control Z that you'd normally do to undo something. So I might keep going down here and I'd encourage everyone to have a go. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do this. So it's quite quick. I'm just going to do one more time here and let's see what happens. And it changes. So in the snap of a click of a button, you can change the entire style of something, but keep all of your text and all of your photos on there. So while I do this, I'm going to show you and send you off to have a go at doing this. I'm going to press present here, and it should change my whole screen into present. And there is a whole bunch of shortcuts that you can do. One, for example, is, hold on, what are they? It's been a while since it's a bit daggy, isn't it? But I can do a mic drop if I want, or I can hit B if I'm talking to you and I get really passionate about something and I want you to stop looking at what I'm sharing and you to focus on what I'm talking about. I can just hit the B key on my keyboard and it will blur everything out. And then when I want it to stop, I just hit the B again and away we go. To do the timer, while I'm presenting, all I need to do is press the number that I want. So I just hit number 1 on my keyboard and it came up with 1 minute. I can click in here and I can change it to make it more specific. It used to be this really cool duck. It used to come up and it would fill with water and the ducks would float. I don't know where that's gone. It's really disappointing it's not there anymore, but you can add different music. I don't really like, I quite like the focus, but if I put the upbeat on, let's see how we go for a minute. Okay, so everyone go for 1 minute. What you're doing is you're applying a style to a page that you've already got designed there. Let's go. 1 minute. So, I'll turn it down. That was quite quick. Hopefully you had an opportunity to change some. Let me know, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't have enough time. Knowing that you've got this now and you're able to go back over and kind of follow the instructions in your own time if you do get a bit lost. So the next thing that we're going to do is text, because obviously text is one of the major ways that we communicate. So just to show you exactly how we can do some text, I have some space for you here. What I want you to do is go over to the left. There is the text tab here, which has a whole bunch of different options. You can simply add a heading, add a subheading, or add a little bit of text. So let me just click there, add a heading. I just clicked it. You can drag and drop if you want to put it exactly where you want. I, for some reason, am just in the habit of clicking and it comes up in the middle. Then what I do is I type and then I'll move it to where I want it to go. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. Very simply, the controls are very much like every other type of software you've used before. The little dots in the corner help it resize. It has a twisty thing where I'm sure there's proper language, a rotating tool that you can use there. And then when you get that little cross, you can move it. So there is that. So that's quite simple. I'm going to show you in just a moment how you change all the fonts and the colors and all that sort of thing. As you've clicked on it, you might see that there's a pop-up toolbar along the top. It won't be there when there's no text highlighted, but when your text is highlighted, it comes up, and that's how you're going to control all of the things. So I will click on the font and you'll notice that the font bar comes up along the left. There's a billion different fonts that you can use. What's great is you don't have to necessarily know the names of them. Like you can have crazy. I'm just going to write that. And, oh, well, there you go. That's not a good example. You can actually go along here and come up with a whole bunch of different ones, or you can just type them in there. For example, there's a whole bunch that you can change it to. You just click it and you can change it. Very simple here. The size, you can change it there like always. Text color. One really cool thing about color, and this goes across all fonts and shapes and things like that, is that you have your major colors that you can use. But what I really love is that what it does, Canva will grab the photos that you have in your slides. So for me, I'll often use photos that I've taken myself or photos that I'm using, and it comes up with a color palette drawn from those photos. So it's a way that you can, if you're not using the templates all the time, it's a way that you can, grab a hero photo and draw all of your color designs from that. So you can change the fonts that way. And then there's gradient ones down the bottom. But this here is what I actually find one of the most helpful features from Canva is the way that it can create a color palette for you from a particular photo, either that you've got from here or a photo that you've uploaded. So one more thing about text that I want to show you is there are actually a whole bunch of pre-designed combinations of texts that you can find down here as well and use. So if you wanted something as simple as this one here, hold on, I'll just get rid of what I've got. Let me delete that out. It has the text already formatted in sort of a really visual way. So you can just jump in there and change the words to what you want them to be. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes, I think, to have a play with all of those. I didn't show you the bolds and the underlines, but they're all there. What else can I show you along here? What's cool is you can change it with one click from uppercase to lowercase. You've got your alignment with your center, left aligned, etc., your bullets, and then you can actually change the way the words look themselves by changing the letter spacing, line spacing, and so on and so forth. But what I'm going to give you is 2 minutes to have a play. So I want you to add some text, have a play with it. You could even adjust some of the text that I have on this screen already. So off we go. 2-minute play with some fonts. We might focus this time. All right. Hopefully everyone has had some success with their text. I do want to move us along because we've got a lot to get through tonight. So I'm just going to close that out there. The next page that we are up to is graphics, which are some of the most fun parts of what you can do. As you've seen with the templates, some of them have pre-populated graphics that you can use. What you'll need to do to have a play with the graphics is go across here to the Elements tab and open that up. Within the Elements tab, there are so many different things that you can access. You can see here that there are just different shapes. So, for example, on this page here, even I'm moving this font out of the way here, but you can just see that there is a slightly lighter blue box here, like a rectangle that is there just to sort of highlight the word graphics. It's a tiny little thing, but there you can either use the templates that already have that sort of thing in there, or you can add your own by different shapes. There are graphics, which are kind of those more cartoony kind of images that there are. There's lots of different types there. There are lots of photos. One of the great things about using Canva is that you do not need to look for Creative Commons licensed photos. I don't know about all of you here who may have been creating presentations in the past. It's really important that we're using images that are free to use and that we also give credit to the images that we used. I know before I started using Canva, I would always go to places like Freepik or Unsplash. I don't know why I've put my hand up there. Hold on. Freepik or Unsplash, and I would get the images that were free to use, and then I would put a little caption down the bottom as to where I had got those images from, because that's the correct protocol for acknowledging our sources. When you use Canva, it's part of the policy of Canva is that there is no need to use attribution. So you don't need to have a thing that says all images created from Canva. However, I don't think it's bad practice to do that when you're submitting an assignment or you're doing something, to have some sort of disclaimer that that's what you're using and where they're from. But all the images within Canva are free for you to use, and they're all there. So it's a form of, it's ethical for you to use all of these images. You don't need to worry about it. Obviously, within the free account, there are free versions, and some of these ones you need to pay for, but when you pay for them, you get the rights to use them. There are also, in the Elements tab, you've got access to lots of different things. Free videos, which may be useful for you. Little animations, audios, charts. I haven't actually spent a lot of time using these tables and charts. I've found them a little bit tricky to use. It could just be that I haven't learned exactly how to do them yet, but there are lots of new things keep coming all the time, and so perhaps I haven't upskilled in that area yet, but I have noticed that in the last year or so, they've started adding some charts there. What I'm going to ask you to do, I've got a simple exercise here, which is I want you to go to the Elements tab, and what we're going to do is we're going to add some candles to the birthday cake. So I'm just going to simply type in candles and see what comes up. You can see that a bunch of things have come up here. They're not quite what I'm looking for, so I probably should have added birthday candles to make that really specific. You can see I could go to the cartoony graphic ones, or I could get some photos. So I'm going to have a go here just to show you a bit more of a complicated version of it. You can see I've already put that one out there before. And I would have done that in my free account, in my paid account, because you can see here, because I'm in the free account here, it's got the background to it, which is a bit annoying. So I'm going to get rid of that one. So you can see there's lots of versions there, but I believe I'll be able to find a free version right here. Click, and it pops up in the middle there. And then, of course, I can resize it, and I could fill the top of that cake with as many candles as I wanted. So have a go at doing that. And then you'll see when you click on something that this magic recommendations comes up, which I always quite like, because it actually will give you a whole bunch of similar ones. So what we can do is add a whole heap here. Before I send you out, I am going to just show you a little tip that I'm not sure if oh no, never mind. I'm not. I'll show you next time because I have a whole slide for it. So what I'll do is I'll give you, I think that 1 minute probably is enough there. And Han, I'm going to answer your question in the chat in just a moment. But let's give you 1 minute, add as many candles of different types and sizes as you would like. I hope that was enough time for you to have a go at adding a few of those, but perhaps you could have a play later. So what I wanted to show you before, and I nearly jumped ahead of myself, is how to duplicate and group items together. So if you wanted a lot of things, obviously you could just keep clicking on them from here, and they add a few more. Another way that you can copy and paste new things in is that you can use your keyboard shortcuts. So I've highlighted this particular image here. So this is the candle, and I'm just Control C. So I've copied it, and then I'm Control V on my keyboard to paste. You can do that by doing the right click as well as usual. So you can copy and then paste using your right click, but I can go Control V and I copy more. If you want to copy a whole bunch of things, one way that you can do that is that you can highlight multiple objects. So I've clicked on one, I'm holding down Shift on my keyboard, and then I'm going to click on the others. And what I can do there is I can Control C, so I'm copying all four of them, and then I can paste all four at once. It's just a simple way that, very similar to other software, you can copy and paste lots of things. One other thing that you might want to do is resize all of these at the same time so that they're all the same size as you resize them, rather than doing each one by one. And how you can do that is making sure that you highlight them all. So I've done that by holding Shift down on my keyboard and clicking on each one there. And then when that is all highlighted together, I can just use the little circle in the top corner to resize those, and I can move them around here. When I have something arranged exactly how I want it, if I've got lots of them, and I don't want to accidentally, so I'm going to unhighlight those, and I might just put them exactly where I want them here. And I don't want them to get mucked up when I'm doing other things. What I can do is group things together. So how I would do this is I would press Shift on my keyboard, and I'm just highlighting all of these here. And you'll see that this little toolbar here comes up and it has the group option. So when you've grouped them, it's like you've created a single image there, and you can work with it as a single image. You can resize it and whatnot. I find this really useful. Probably not for birthday candles, but there's lots of times that I group things, I ungroup them, and then I group them again. So it's never stuck. When it's there, you can click on it and ungroup it, and then maybe fiddle with it and change it, and then group other things together. I find it really helpful. I use it all the time. So I'm going to give you, you might want to add other pictures and things like that to have a play. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to have a play with that there. And you could add other things if you wanted to as well. So 2 minutes, have a play. The instructions are there to duplicate by copying and pasting, moving things around, and then grouping the images together. I will give you 2 minutes. Let me know if I'm moving too slowly for you or too quickly, and I'll try and change my pace for everyone. How's everyone going? Did you all get a chance to do that? I think that Amanda has something she wants to teach me. How did you add a shadow to something? It's not something I've ever actually done, but I would love for you to talk me through how to do that so I can show everyone.
Okay, I've got to try and remember. So I put a little toy duck in front of the cake, and then I clicked on the duck and went up the top, the cut like the little bar come up with colors, and then it says edit.
Beautiful. Ah, yes, yes.
And then
shadows. Is that it there?
Shadows. Yeah, and then shadows, and you can adjust, you can pick the type of shadow and you can change the side, like so it changes the angle of the object to suit the shadow. It's very cool.
Like let's go here. Let's make it a bit bigger. This one's quite, there we go. I hope everyone can see that as I'm doing that.
If you adjust the bars, yeah, you can move and change the object and the shadow. Very cool.
And then the blur so that it's even more blurred out.
Awesome.
That is very cool. Thank you. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly how that would work, but it looks great. And you've raised and I think I might have something that I wanted to talk to you about there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it now while I've got you all thinking about that. So I'm going to add another page, which I guess this is to show you how, if you need to add another page, you hover on this panel down the bottom here in between, and it has a button which says add page. And that'll add you a blank page. You can duplicate a page. Sometimes I like to duplicate so that I can keep a similar theme and then I just tweak. The way you duplicate a page is I just right click on it and duplicate, and you can see that there's a shortcut Control D if that's what you want to do. But I'm going to just add a page in here. So I've got a blank space to work with here. And I'm going to add, what should I add? I'll add a duck too. So there's lots of graphics of ducks that I can add, but I'm actually going to add a photograph of a duck because I want to show you a few of the different things that we can do. Okay, so here's my photograph of a duck. In the edit section here, and you actually don't need to because it's already there, you can open up the edit section and it will show you a whole bunch of different things you can do to a particular image. So you can change the style, you can add filters, which I'm sure we're all we understand filters a bit, say from using Instagram or our own phones and things. One thing that is very powerful it's very powerful and it's part of the Pro. Well, that's frustrating. It's not going to happen because it's going to want me to pay. I love it so much that I'm going to show you on my other screen. So we'll just stop for a moment. Here I am. I said I wasn't going to show you the things that the Pro can do. Sorry. I'm going to show you. Okay, hold on. Let's go back. Here we go. I'll jump into here and I will share my screen again so that you can see it properly. Okay, hopefully everyone can see this, and I'll just add a spot in here. Let's go back and grab our duck. Elements. Duck. I find the background remover really great. It helps things look really professional, and it is as simple as clicking on that button and it will remove the background really quickly. I know that, technology's come a long way recently. I'm sure many of your phones can already do this sort of thing and it's quite quick. I know a couple of years ago, I spent ages removing backgrounds and then having to go in and use my mouse to kind of get all the bits that it didn't do quite well. It's like a snap of a button now. It makes me really excited. The other cool thing that you can do in the Pro is you can actually get an image. So let me just show you the uploads here. Oh, this will be revealing. Hold on. Here's all the things that I've uploaded. Let me just see if I can find a photo of the signal. My daughter would hate that. Hold on. That's her holidays. Let me just move. I'm going past them really quickly. Okay, hold on. Let's go. Oh, I'm really revealing. Trying to find. Here we go. Eventually there'll be a photo of me, I'm sure. You can see I'm a bit in love with Taylor Swift. Well, I might just take a moment because I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Look, here is a photo of me that I've got. And I can remove the background of that. It is really fast. Oh, wait, wrong one. That was the duck. Click on it. You can remove the background and it gets rid of it really quickly. No, less quickly. There we go. If you want to, you can actually click into it and you can be a bit more defined with it if you wanted to. But one of the other really cool things that you can do, and this is just with the Pro, so apologies for that, is that you can actually change the style of something. So what I'm going to show you here is, I'll pop this fellow up. see how that's kind of a cartoony style? What I can do is, let me just get rid of, whoops. Get rid of this stuff that I did before. That is the style that I like. I'm going to copy that style, that cartoony style, and I'm going to apply it to the photo of me. Haven't tried this before, so I'm looking at it going, why are you failing? Hold on. It's having a think about it. Oh, didn't work. All right, I might have to, you should try things before you show others. Hold on, let me go. So we've got that style. Let's get rid of me and we will add this style. Let's see if this works. So I have this duck and I want to copy the style of that duck and apply it to something else. Why is it not working? I think it's having a think about it. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just leave that and hope it percolates, and I will come back to it and we will move along. The style, select a style to copy. Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to have a go and try and find that while I'm sending you off to do some things. So I have failed for you there. Sorry, but it does work. What I did do over Christmas was I created a whole bunch of little elves for my family and put their faces behind it, and I copied all the styles. It was wonderful. I'll show you in a moment. But let me just get back where I was before, and we will move on to our next activity. Okay. All right. The next thing I want to show you on our list of things we're going to do is, and I have talked about it just there, uploading our own photos. So before we actually do this, what I've got for you here is a little frame. There are a whole bunch of frames that you can get from the element section. How I find them, I know there's a better way, but how I find them is I type in the word frame and it comes up here, this section called frames. What the frames do is they create a shape for your photo to go inside. I quite like them. I think they're really handy. So there's a whole bunch that you can use. This one's a flower shape. You can find a whole bunch of different shapes. You can have a picture come into the letter A if you want. Let me just put a little one of those off in the corner and I'll show you. So what you can do is you can add any of your images to there. So what I'm going to do is show you how to do that by showing you how I can upload a photo. So if there isn't something that you want, if you want to use your own pictures, if you are doing your own research and you have photos of the types of, if you're doing research on the reef and you might have photos that you've taken, you want to use them rather than using stock photos. So what you can do is you just click upload files, or you can control copy and control paste some images from somewhere else. Let's see, what have I got laying around here? I have a whole bunch of saved images. Let's grab this one here. It just uploads and then you can use it. I might just do one more that I just saw. Won't be long. Let's do that one. It's actually the background that I've got behind me at the moment. Okay, so what you do is you just grab it and you drag it and you pop it into the frame like that. So you can see that as you hover across, it gets there. You can double click on it and then make it bigger, move it around and all that sort of thing. The other thing that you can do is just grab and pop it behind there. So lots of different things you can do with uploading your own images. What I'm going to do is give you 2 minutes to go and do that yourself. If you've got some photos on your computer already, you can upload them and use them. So if they're, you can grab any sort of video or picture that you want that you've taken yourself. We have got in 2 slides time, we're going to play with some videos, so you don't have to worry about doing a video, but you can add your own photos there. So 2 minutes. Does everyone find that that's enough time? It doesn't make you feel stressed out? I can do longer if you would prefer longer, but all right. We seem happy with the 2. Let's go. Okay, excellent. Let's go to our next section that we are going to look at. So by now we have looked at some templates, we've changed the style, we've added some text, played with some graphics, and now we are going to have a really quick look at the layers, which is a tiny tweak that can help you do perhaps more complicated designs. So what I have here is to show you how the layers work. I have got some flowers that I've hidden behind some leaves. So what your job is to change the layers here. So what you're going to do is change the sizes of the leaves to what size you think is appropriate. So I think I might make them a bit smaller. And then what we want to do is right click on them to open up the layers button, which is here. So you can do all of these things from your right click and do them here. Otherwise, what you can do is actually click on show layers and it will actually open them up over here. And I find this quite useful to help rearrange things. But what you can do is you just right click on the layer and then send it backwards. So you can see there that my flower is now available and I can change the angle and I can use over here if I wanted to change the order of things. So I can bring this flower right up to the top if I like there, which pops it. And you can see this is all the different numbers and things like that. They don't really count, but I can change all the layering that way and I can add more So Control Copy, Control V. I can add more leaves on if I want to, and then I can continue to either send it all the way to the back or send it backwards. This can help if you've got things like this and you wanted to put the shape, see how I've got that shape behind here? If the layer, when you added it, was like this, oh, hold on. No, it doesn't really make a difference. It's just because it's a bit transparent. But if you had a box or something like that, so let me just see if I wanted to put a rectangle. Let's add it in, not a frame, just a normal rectangle. If I wanted to add that in there and have it behind, obviously I'd need to put it behind it. So it's as simple as right-clicking, text box, right-clicking, and then changing the layers there and adding it to the back. So I'll give you, I think, 1 minute to have a go and see if you can reveal your flower and change the layers there with that one. Okay, let's go. 1 minute. Have revealed flowers in our layers. Excellent. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do here is to have a play with the videos. You may or may not find this useful if you're creating a I know for my subjects, when I ask my students to create a presentation, they might be creating a series of presentations when they're talking about a particular area, and then they need to demonstrate something. So they've got a video themselves doing something. I'm a creative arts teacher, so they're videoing themselves doing a dance or something like that. So they'd need to add that video in to their overall presentation. So how you can do that is with what I showed you before, which is uploading your own videos and adding them to it. I'm not going to show you in a video that I've got of myself dancing or anything like that. So I'm going to go to the Elements tab, clicking on Videos. So let me just get out of there. Clicking on Videos here, and you'll see that a whole bunch come up. There is actually a video library that you can go to. I actually prefer to just search for something myself. I do have the instructions there to go to the Artlist curated video library. You don't have to. You could, for example, be needing, I keep using the example of someone who's studying biology, but mainly because fish are beautiful. So let's just do ocean. Like, let's do coral reef. Let's see what comes up there. A whole bunch of videos come up. There could be all sorts of videos that you may like to find, but let's have a look at this turtle here. I'm going to drag that video and I'm going to put it into this frame. You don't have to. It could go anywhere on the page. Like, for example, I could just put it here and then I can resize the video. I can put it wherever I want. That one's got the watermark over it. This one doesn't because it's part of the free version. You can see it only went for about 11 seconds, which is fine, and it would play. It won't repeat though. That is something to know. Okay. Before I send you off to have a play with doing that, you'll only need a minute for that. I just want to answer this question in the chat. I need to make a PowerPoint for my teaching and timing the student group discussion. Can you explain a little bit more of what you mean by that? Like, do you need to add a timer? Is that what you mean? Or because I can show you a few different ways that you can do that within the video. So there is, when you're presenting, you do have that timer. Another way that you can do that, and I think that I will do it right now so that when I send you to practice, you'll do play with videos and then you will do insert YouTube video as well. So I want to show you how you can insert a YouTube video into a slideshow. So there are a couple of ways you can do this actually. The way I've shown you here, which is you go to the apps tab. I'm showing you this because I want to show you that there's an apps tab which has hundreds of different things that can be added into Canva. You can search for YouTube here and click on the YouTube link there and it will add it in for you. One of the other things that I find quite useful is the QR code one. It's connecting my account. I don't know if I want to do that, but let's go. No, I'm not going to. What is happening? That's not what I want. Hold on. Sorry. Take a moment. I may have the instructions wrong. Might be that one. Search for YouTube embed. It's YouTube embed. So just a note, it's YouTube embed, not just YouTube. I think the YouTube app actually helps you to create YouTube videos or it does something weird. It's YouTube embed. And what you can do is search for videos here from YouTube and insert them yourself. So to answer your question, Han, is sometimes I have used a timer from YouTube. So let me just see what's going to come up here. For example, if you need a 5-minute timer, you can actually find heaps of different timers on YouTube that are either, let's go this one, and pop it here. So when you have this here, the YouTube video is not going to play unless you're presenting. Put it here so it looks nicer. You probably would want to do a bit of reviewing and have a look at it. But when you have it here, and I'm going to present, let me just open up. You can see that when I go to present, can't you? That the screen pops up so that you can see the whole presentation. Maybe it doesn't. I might stop my share and make sure I've got it proper. Here we go. All right, you can see this all going well. So you come across here. I was on this page here with my beautiful turtle, showing my theatre, the turtle, and I'm going to the next page. And then if I have to have a timer here to send my group that I'm working with onto a particular activity, that timer's there and I can click it and press play. There is the background music, so you might hate that or love that. You'd have to review that. There's a whole heap of different sorts online and that timer's there. So that's an option for you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to send everyone, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I know it's not a lot, but what I want you to do is find a video from the video library in the elements, and then maybe on the next page you can find a YouTube video that you can link in there. The other way that you can do a YouTube video, if you don't want to do it that way, you could literally go to YouTube. You can find whatever video you want. I don't know. Let me see what I'm going to find. What sort of video? Let's say cute puppies. I don't know. I'm sure you have something else. You might have like a particular TED talk that you need to link to. Let's do this one. It looks
You'll avoid trouble.
Oh. Let's see what happens. I've got the share link, so the copy link of that video. Let's go back to where I am. I will open up a new page. I'm just simply right-clicking and pasting. And there it is. So it's pretty simple. You can copy and paste a YouTube shared video. You can't play them in the making section, but when you present, you're able to play them. Okay, so 3 minutes now to have a play with a variety of videos. I know we've been working the whole time. In that 3 minutes, you might want to jump up and shake your body and stretch. We've only got 2 more things to get through, and I'm happy to take any questions. So don't stress that we're going to run out of time. We'll get through it all. So 3 minutes, have a play. Okay, right. Hopefully everyone had an opportunity to find what they needed to there. I am going to pause what we're doing here to go back and show you the thing that I failed at earlier. I think I've got it working again. So I was trying to show you how in the Pro version, there are some newer capabilities that are coming through. And let me just share my screen properly with you. Hopefully you can see this. I've been doing this while you've been working on other things. So what you can see here, it does sometimes take a while. I have this duck picture, right, that has a particular style of painting to it. It's been designed in a particular way. And what I was able to do was use this style button here when I was clicked on it. And then I clicked on a photo that I had of me. So is the photo there? Oh, it's going to be ages away. I won't be able to find it, but oh, here it is. So this is the photo that I had of me. So when I clicked on this with the copy style and then I clicked over here, it did its AI magic and it created a version of the image in the style of the painting of the duck. And there are a lot of applications that you can do for this. If you perhaps are wanting to I tried to show in this one and it didn't actually work very well. But if you had a particular design that had a particular style to it and you wanted something else, but you couldn't find the same style and you wanted that cohesive story, you can use this, where'd it go? Style button to sort of get that cohesive story. It doesn't always work. Some pictures must not have permissions for it to work, but you can have a play there. So I just wanted to show you, I did start, I failed, but I've got it working now. And then Lee has asked the question that you could not get the YouTube video to play in Canva. No, you can't. Not while it won't play while it is in this mode where you're like in the mode where you're making it. Where it will play is when you have it in presentation mode. So let me show you a little bit about that. And I'm hoping that I can. I've stopped sharing here. I'm hoping that I'm able to share this. Okay, just give me 1 second. I've just got to set some things up before. Where is it? Sorry. Okay, and I'm hoping I'm able to show you this. Let me find you again. I've lost you. Here we go. Share. Okay, what I've done, which I can't show you now, is I've clicked share in presenter mode. So I'm hoping that I'm showing you, and I think I'm showing you the back of the presenter mode. Are you seeing like it's like a black screen that has a timer in the top left corner and things like that? Excellent. So what this is what when you have presenter mode, sometimes you might be presenting in a classroom and you might have a computer in front of you and then the big screen up the back. What you can have is this presenter mode, which is what you see in the background on your computer, and then the audience sees the full screen version of this. I find it quite useful. When I do my teaching and right now, although I'm not doing it right now, I have multiple screens. I have my laptop and I have a spare monitor. What I do is on one screen, I might be able to have this up here, which has all the controls, and I can be looking straight at this here. I can move my mouse around and you would actually see on the big screen my mouse moving around in those spots. I can navigate here. And then I can also have, and I'm going to show you in a moment how you can add these notes in here. I can also have my notes there, which can help me if I'm presenting and things like that. All the notes are there. The other thing that I was telling you about before is the magic shortcuts. So those are all here. I showed you the blur one. I've shown you the timer. There is a curtain call. So you can see like it closes and whatnot. You can have confetti bursts. Everyone's seeing this, aren't they? You can see what I'm doing. Excellent, beautiful. So there's all these different sort of things. Another thing that is actually really cool, if you are ever having to present live, it happens so rarely these days. But if you are in a classroom or a conference and you have to do a presentation live, what is cool is this here, the remote control. So you can actually click on this and you use your phone to grab this QR code and it will actually open up the controls on your phone. So you can walk around the room, you can change slides. Actually, I'll see if I can do it really quickly and then show you. I hope it will work. It's a bit weird in this environment where I'm online and I can't show you everything easily. Okay. What it does is, hold on a minute. It's asking me to log in. So you've got to log in with your email. And hold on, I won't be long. Whatever login that you logged in with on your Canva. Okay, I'm nearly there. Okay, and your phone will turn into a clicker or a remote control. Why is it not working? Okay, now hopefully I can show you. Oh, hold on. This is where I have to reveal my messy background to you, isn't it? All right. Excuse my very messy office right now. How do I get rid of this? Video settings. Short background, none. Here we go. All right. So hopefully you can see on my screen here, I've got the phone and it has all of the navigation tools. So I can hit next here and then I can open up all of the shortcuts and do those as I'm walking about the room. So it does have that capacity there for you to use. It's an interesting way you can use Canva. You're right, Amanda. Why are people still using PowerPoint? I have no idea. So there is that option there. The other thing that you can use here is you can do autoplay, so it will click over automatically. You can also draw on the screen. So let me just go back to where it might be here. I can draw. I can use a pen, I can use a highlighter. If I want to, I can change the color, and I can draw on the screen to, like if I want to point to something or something like that. So there's all of those different things that you can do. Now, why was I telling you all of this? It was because I wanted to show you how to do video, to play the videos, wasn't it, on YouTube? So when it is shared, you're able to, let me just shut that down. Oh, oops, I just shut it down altogether. I clicked the wrong button. Hold on, I'm nearly there. I'll share one more time. Okay, so it won't play. You'll notice that when I'm here, it will not play. On it a lot of times. That's interesting. I double clicked and it worked. Let's see if that happens again. Oh, wait. I don't know how to make that happen again. But when you hit present, which I've done by pressing that enter full screen, and you can see this, you're just able to click play and it should work. I don't know any other way to do that. Okay. All right. So let's move on to our last thing. And this is a bit tricky for me to show you because it requires my camera doing double duty. So hopefully it will work. What we do when we need to record ourselves in Canva. Now, I think there might be multiple ways to do this. This is the way I know. Maybe there's better ways. But what it requires is using the apps again. And then you go to, and you can see that I've already got it down the corner here, but let's see if I can go to it again. You search for videos is what you search for. And it is the one here that's like white with like a black play symbol, which you open. And then it is quite simply, you press this record yourself. Before I press that, what I'm going to do is turn my video off on the Zoom so that it will recognize my video over here. So I'll shut my video down here. And let's see if I can make this happen for us here. You can still see my screen share, I'm pretty sure. And I'm just going to click record. And what happens is, you can see my messy background. I am going to allow while visiting the site. And then another thing, I don't know if these pop-up boxes are coming up for you to see, but hopefully you can see them. A little box is popping up that says allow while visiting this site for my microphone. I'm saying yes, because I need it to recognize that. And hopefully you can see how it's jumped across to like a recording studio-like thing. And what that does is for this page that I'm on, it sets it up as a recording studio. So what I would do is I would record my audio for each slide. I'm currently at the end of my slideshow, as you can see down here. But it comes up with a box with the record here, and I'll show you what that does in a second. Up the side here are some of the things here. If you have a separate camera, like you might have I forgot the name. I'm using the embedded camera in my laptop, but you might have a separate camera on top. You might want to choose that. You might have a separate microphone. You'd just use this drop-down menu. I don't actually have any extras there. You might, but you can select them there. Obviously, my circle is here, and that makes no sense for me to have my video there. I can move it to where I want. I can resize it as well. I will show you what happens when I record. So I just hit record. It's going to count down. 3, 2. So this page is about recording yourself within Canva. I'm going to keep talking until I'm happy, and then I'm going to press done. So there it is. I've just recorded a little bit there. I might want to, while I'm in here, record on the next page. So I'm just clicking across, and now I'm going to speak on the next page. I'll just have a go. On this section, we're going to learn how to download our creations from Canva. Okay, up the top, you might notice that it says recordings are limited to 25 minutes per page. So I don't think anyone would, but you've got to remember that you can't do longer than 25 minutes on a page. Okay, so I've done that. I could do it throughout the whole thing if I wanted to, but let's just hit save and exit. All right, so this page is about recording yourself within Canva. I'm going to, okay, you can see that that's there. I can move it around here as well. So I don't have to, I can make it really big if I want. I can, let me just show you how I can, hold on, let's go. I've got it on these 2 pages, right? I'm just going here to present full screen so that you can sort of see, which is the button down the bottom right there. The other option is I could go up the top here and click present. Kerry, it doesn't. However, you can actually add that transition in if you want. And when I get to this next slide, I will show you how you can convert it to a video. So it's not a slideshow anymore. It turns it into a video, and it will boop over to the next. Actually, I'm going to turn my video back on here so that I can see you all again. Okay, so let's have a go here. I'm going to make this big screen. So this page is about recording yourself within Canva. I'm going to keep talking until I'm happy, and then I'm going to press done. And you're right, Kerry, it doesn't transition over when it is in slideshow view. I'm clicking across. On this section, we're going to learn how to download it. And you can see that the video's there. So this is a way that you could create an entire spoken presentation across multiple slideshows if you wanted to. What I need to show you now, and we've got just 10 minutes to do it in, so I will stick around for questions if anyone has any, but I want to show you how you can download it. And there are many different ways that you can do that, depending on what you want. You might have created a singular poster, and you would want to download that poster maybe as a PDF or maybe as a PNG file so that it's an image. So how you go about doing that is it's up in the top right corner. The button is the share button. And before I show you the downloads spots, there are actually other ways in which you can do it. You can create yourself a website if you wanted for free, a fairly easily kind of, depending on how you've designed it here. Let's just see what it does actually. Let me hit go. It will create, let's see what, I haven't actually done this. Or maybe I can't. Let's not in the free version. I can do it in the pro version. I'm not going to show you that, sorry. If you have the pro version, you can create it as a website. Let's go share. You can create one thing that students often do with me is they actually create a public view link, which is, it shows it as you've designed it. So if it's a slideshow, they will create a public view link here. So you just click that, create public view link, and then you copy it. So what happens there, let me open up a new window. Hopefully you can see all of this. I just copy and paste that link in, and it should open up a slideshow-esque version of, you can see here, we just click through it. I can click right to the end here and see my video bits. So this page is about recording yourself within, etc. So that's quite an easy way for you to create something to share online. However, you probably want to download it as an actual separate file. So in the download spot, there's lots of options. You can go here. So you can download this as a PDF if you want to. Remembering when you download a PDF, there aren't going to be those active multimodal things. We don't have, PDFs can't play videos, although I think maybe they can now, but most versions can't play a video nowadays. So when you convert to a PDF, you just have the images and the text, but you can do that. There's two different sorts. One's best for printing, one's best for documents. You can convert it as a PowerPoint presentation. I do not know why you would. I actually sometimes have to when I have tutors who refuse to use Canva. I have to download it as a PowerPoint. It doesn't always work really well. Sometimes the fonts are in weird spots and the pictures are, and you have to kind of review it. But you can do that. You can create something in Canva, and then if you want to present it in PowerPoint, you can do that. You can download it as an MP4 video. This is often what is needed when you're creating a presentation and you need to record yourself talking and you create an MP4 video. So what would happen there is I would click this and it would just show my slides one by one for like 5 seconds each, unless I'd chosen a different amount of time for them or unless there was a video on them that went for longer. And then the sections where I was talking, it would show those. So that's an option for you. Another option is that I often use is the PNG. Like if I'm creating that infographic, I would download it as an image file and use it that way. So for example, I'm just going to show you the PDF to start with. You can select the pages that you want to download. They don't have to be all of them. You can just select a few of them if you want. What else do I need? That's the same for the PNG. You can make the file size smaller. However, you cannot unless it's the pro version. One other thing that I sometimes do when if I need to create an image is using the pro version is I do a transparent background as well. So I can create an image that's just, say, that one I was showing you before where I took the background off my face. I would perhaps export that. I've been known to do it for a signature because I can't figure out how to get my signature, and I'll have signed it and then I remove all the background so I just have the written signature. But that again is only the pro version. Okay, what else do I need to show you about downloading? I think that's it. I'm going to give you, we've only got a few minutes left. What I might do instead of giving you the next 5 minutes to go and have a play, what I might do is open the floor to question time now. And then when I close up and finish, I'm going to encourage you to go and have a go at doing this record yourself within Canva section, which is the going to the apps, typing in video and then hitting record, and it should take you to that recording studio. But I might take the next couple of minutes to take questions if anyone has any or comments. Something I haven't explained clearly. Go for it, hon.
Thank Katie. It's very super helpful session. I really enjoy it. I think I just want to ask some AI instrument tool they can convert work text into PowerPoint or presentation. I wonder whether Canvas can do that as well.
Sorry, can you ask that question again? Sorry.
I mean, so if we have a Word document and we put that Word document into AI, they can design and do the presentation for us. Can Canvas do that, or we need to do it one by one?
Canva does have that facility. Let me see where I can find it. I have done it. Let me see. I think it is Magic Media. Let me see. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go back to home so that I can show you from scratch rather than within here. Now, there is Canva AI to start with. So in the home page, I'm still sharing my screen, aren't I? I think I am.
Yes, you are.
In the home page, I've been known to chat away and I haven't been sharing my screen, and 10 minutes later, people are like, we can't see anything. So I'm always nervous about it. Canva AI, you can type something in there. I've had a play with it. I have had interesting results, but to be honest, I bet the technology is better today than 6 months ago. So always have a play. So here you can do it. You can create a document, an image, a design. And it looks like they're starting to get the video, which I did actually go to a workshop with the designer, the actual the coder for the AI for Canva, and they had some incredible things that were coming down the line through Leonardo AI that was going in, where you can just type out, a spooky hallway with smoke coming out of it. A person walks down and then something jumps out. You type that and it creates the video for you in moments. So it's all happening. You can do all of that there. I have a feeling a certain amount of it would be behind the paywall for the pro, but you can have a play there. within Canva AI to create. So let me see if something happens really quickly here. So create a poster that explores, what did we say before? It was dementia in healthcare.
Healthcare in dementia.
Um, let's just see what
Yeah.
that does in seconds. I reckon with AI, as always, the more specific instructions that you give it, the better you're going to get.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what this is going to give me. It's having a think. I probably would have preferred to give it more specific,
Yeah.
color schemes and various things, but as it
Mm.
goes, that is, so there we go.
Okay. Nice.
Yes. Obviously, if it's for a university assignment, there'd need to be declarations that you gave, permission would need to be had, but the capacities are there for you to use it.
Uh,
Hopefully.
you say something about the placement version for this canvas. Um, where the USC staff they have something from the university.
I don't know. I don't think the university offers any of the paid version. Well, I know I certainly pay for it myself.
Mm,
If at the start I did say that if you are a teacher in Australia in
mm.
primary or secondary schools, you
Uh-huh.
can get a free account,
Okay,
a free education account.
but
I'm a
not
teacher
university level.
not at university. I'm a teacher at a university level. I have asked them, I've said, why aren't you giving it to me for free? But they said they're not going to. So
Okay. So this
it's,
is something we can ask the university to think about.
oh, I mean, we could. I don't think that they will, but it's certainly a thought that you could use. I mean, I have known many a student to sign up for the month free. They make
Mm.
sure they put it in their calendars to cancel. I mean, you can
Uh,
do that.
yep.
Get what you need.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
No problem, Amanda.
Thank you, Kate. I've just found this so helpful and timely. I love also that we have this template now, which I assume stays in our Canva, so we can.
Yeah,
Oh, yep.
you can
Okay.
go back and play with it at will.
So I have to do a 2 hour workshop next week, face to face. I was going to do it in PowerPoint. I'm thinking now from what I've heard, one of my colleagues is doing a video to record some of the like the findings from the data, and then I'm doing a sense making process. So I'm thinking now that I could be brave and use Canva, and I could embed her recorded video, and then I could also set Canva up to play the slideshow and use my phone as the remote so I could click through the presentation. So to get to that point, I don't have to export the presentation. Is that right? I can just go straight to the share factor. Thank you, Han. You can do it. I hope so.
I'm going back here.
And then
All
if I
you
have
have to do,
notes, how would I see my notes?
thank you, Amanda. That's excellent. I did forget to show you that. Let me go back here and I want to show you the notes. That is something that I did not show. So here we are. We've got our presentation that we've lovingly designed. We have, oh, there's a timer. That's great. Let's get rid of that. Hold on. Go away. Down. Down the bottom left is notes.
Yes.
I use these notes all the time, even if it's so you can put all of your notes here. What's super annoying is I don't think that you can bold things, which I always think they need. But you can't, which I find annoying. But you can put all your notes there, okay? And it looks like you can get generative AI to do your notes for you if you want. I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, I'll put things like I put the link there so I didn't forget what the link was. Okay, so you go through your slides, you put all your notes there. What you do is you're going to go up the top here when you present. I'm assuming you're on a university campus, perhaps, when you're
No, I'm
presenting.
not I'm not going to be at a university campus,
So you will have your laptop
but I will have my laptop. Yes.
and it will be shot up onto some sort of big screen, I'm assuming.
I'm assuming that too. Yes.
So sometimes, depending on the technology, I have struggled to get the presenter view on my laptop and then the different screen on the thing. So you may not, depending on where you are, be able to do that. So I'd be prepared for a like a backup plan, which would be printing out my notes if I
Yeah. Okay.
wanted to have notes.
That's fine. That's fine.
I know at the university campuses, you're able to put the presenter view on, which is this in the top right corner. There's present, and there's like a little down. Click on it. So you can just present in full screen. Bloop, it goes up. What you're wanting is presenter view, which because this is the free version, I've got some watermarks in there. So
Yeah.
they will present there and that's fine. It's totally free. So then you hit present here and that's where what will come up. I don't know what you can see here, but I'm hoping that you can see audience window
Yes.
there and you just enter full screen there. And what happens is there it is, I hope for you. That's the full screen that everyone can see. And another window has opened up on my computer that you can't see because I'm only sharing. I wonder if this works for you. I don't think it does. But I showed it to you before, which was the that presenter view
Yep.
where I will stop sharing and I'll see if I can share that. It comes up like this. And so you've got that presenter view and so you can see your notes there down the side.
Thank you.
When you're presenting, and what you'd want is you'd want to get into your presentation a little bit earlier. You'd get it all set up to make sure to see if it's going to work.
Yes.
Then you're going to click on Share Remote Control, which will give you a QR code.
Yes.
And then you'll use your phone to grab that QR code. You'll probably have to log in. When I logged in before, it didn't work straight away. I don't know why. So I went out and I tried it again after logging in and it worked. And it comes up with like it's like a little screen that has the notes on it. And then it has a right and a left button where you can go forward or back on your slides. And
Yep.
then the magic shortcuts if you wanted to, which are those, you don't have to. And to be honest, I generally don't use these. I think my students will laugh at me. I don't know if I, burst out the confetti. I do use the blur often because sometimes I'll go forward on a screen and there's all this stuff and I'm like, oh, I'm not ready to talk about that yet. And I'll use the blur quite often. And I use the timer quite a lot. Which is we used it tonight, so you saw that. I use it quite a lot, especially if you're setting up activities for people to do. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Let you know if I'm brave enough.
I would love it. I don't know why more people don't. I use it all the time. I love it. I've never had a problem with it. A couple of years ago, because I've been using it for I think I've been using it for maybe 6 or 7 years now. And before it's got way more capabilities than it used to have. But people used to come to me and say, well, what happens if the internet drops out and then you're stuck? And they'd always say to me, you should download your presentation onto a USB drive and look, I run the risk and it hasn't happened yet.
Look, I did turn up to a venue to do a presentation last week and there was no internet. So it can happen.
So they're right, aren't they? But yep, I'd be just flying by the seat of my pants with no slides. So but have some fun with it. I find it incredibly useful. And the more you use it, the more you learn. There's always new. I've been to a bunch of different, they often run conferences and online learnings. I've been to a bunch of different ones through Canva where they share all the new things coming down the line, which is always very exciting. So I hope everyone's found it useful tonight. Did anyone have any other burning questions before we go? Or I encourage you to take a few minutes now to try and record yourself. Sometimes it's just in the doing that it can help consolidate that knowledge. But we have run a little bit over, so I might let everyone get off to their evening and enjoy their late dinner, I guess. Reminder that in 2 weeks' time, we're going back to PowerPoint if anyone wants to come along to that. And we're going to learn some tricky morph transitions in PowerPoint as well, which are also quite fun. So come along to that if you wanted to learn that one in a couple of weeks. Otherwise, have a wonderful evening. The recording can be, I don't know how long it takes them, but I'm pretty sure Alison from the SCPA uploads them onto the YouTube channel. And she might email everyone about that, but it will get uploaded onto the SCPA YouTube channel. All right. Have a wonderful night, everyone.